toward a theology of resistance. Theology today needs to focus carefully upon the crucial problem of violence. The commandment, thou shalt not kill, is more than a mere matter of academic or sentimental interest in an age when man is not only more frustrated, more crowded, more subject to psychotic and hostile delusion than ever, but also has at his disposition an arsenal of weapons that make global suicide an easy possibility. But the so-called nuclear umbrella has not simplified matters in the least. It may, at least temporarily, have caused the nuclear powers to reconsider their impulses to reduce one another to radioactive dust. But meanwhile, conventional wars go on with unabated cruelty, and already more bombs have been exploded on Vietnam than were dropped in the whole of World War II. The population of the affluent world is nourished on a steady diet of brutal mythology and hallucination, kept at a constant pitch of high tension by a life that is intrinsically violent in that it forces a large portion of the population to submit to an existence which is humanly intolerable. Hence murder, mugging, rape, crime, corruption. But it must be remembered that the crime that breaks out of the ghetto is only the fruit of a greater, more pervasive violence, the injustice which forces people to live in the ghetto in the first place. The problem of violence, then, is not a problem of a few rioters and rebels, but the problem of a whole social structure which is outwardly ordered and respectable and inwardly ridden by psychopathic obsessions and delusions. And that is the opening paragraph of a book by Thomas Merton called Faith and Violence.
Hi there, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name's Peggy Coleman.
Yeah, Peggy, what organization do you represent?
Pacific Life Community.
Okay, and then what is this demonstration about?
Well, we come here every fourth Friday of the month to protest the nuclear weapons industry that is led by Lockheed Martin. And we've been doing that since the 70s. Actually, Pacific Life Community started in 1973, 74, around there. And we've been coming to protest here in Sunnyvale for all that time, with the exception of maybe about 10 years. There was a lapse. But other than that, we've been out here on this corner or the corner down the block to voice our opinion of anti-nuclear weapons.
And what are you what are you looking to achieve, or what would get you to stop coming out here?
I've never thought of that question before. I don't know if Woodstock.
So I know that you guys really started coming out here again because of the Iraq War. Is that correct?
Well, we just felt that we needed to come back out. It wasn't that, it wasn't the Iraq War specifically, although that was kind of going on. We just felt the need to come back out and start vigiling again, that we weren't doing enough, and we wanted to kind of pick up where we left off.
I see.
And because they're still making, the missiles for the Trident submarine that's based up in Washington.
And so your demonstration is focused on the nuclear arms race, essentially. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So an end to our wars wouldn't necessarily be your final objective. It would be to end nuclear proliferation. Is that correct?
Yeah, the end to nuclear proliferation. Exactly.
And then, a little bit of wind there. Got it?
Almost not. I feel like I'm getting carried away. Whirlwind.
Yeah, Excellent. I see that. It was raining a little bit earlier, so people know. So you're with Pacific Life Community. Where else are they local, or do they have demonstrations in other places?
No, it's not local. This happens to be the local contingent of it. We are also up in like Tacoma, Washington, down in Vandenberg Air Force Base. We protest there. Also at the Nevada test site in Nevada, and various other locations. So this is just one of several places.
Excellent. And what could we do, the average person, to help your cause? In other words, what could we do to stop nuclear proliferation?
Well, I mean, tax resistance is one of the things that you can do. You can go online, the tax resistors website, and find out there's a certain percentage of your taxes that you can resist paying and not pay for this, because if we all decided not to pay for it, they wouldn't be able to pay for the weapons. Or you can find where they're protesting, locally, and come out and protest with us.
Sure. How about divestment? Is there any divestment that we can do?
Yeah, and find out where Lockheed is selling their products, and you can go online and everything is online of what they produce and how they're making their money.
Right.
And you can just search it out that way. That's a good point. Yes.
And how about with our vote? Is there a way we can vote for or against either policy or candidates?
Yes. Yes, you can always, each time you go, there's an election, there's different ways that it'll affect an election. And so to be more astute, to keep up on your reading and to see how it influences your spending, and check in with your local politicians, your congresspeople, your senators, because it's in direct relation to Lockheed. Yeah, that's another way to check into it also. Yes.
Sure. Let me just wait for this truck to go by. So just do you want to give us your website for people to go to if they want to learn more about your organization?
Well, we used to have wevigil.org, but we don't have it anymore. But we have.
Is there a website for the Pacific
Yes,
Life Community?
There is a website for Pacific Life Community. Do you know it off the top of your head?
I don't.
Our website?
Okay, I'll go ahead. I'll post that on the video for you guys,
Yeah.
and in the link, okay?
Yeah, it's easy to find.
Thank you for talking to us, Peggy.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you for the interview.
Sure.
This excerpt is from a book called The Root of Worst Fear, written by Jim Forrest, who in 1959 was in the Navy and was on his way to the Catholic Worker in New York City. He picked up a copy of Seven Story Mountain at the bus stop and read it on the way, and that started his conversion process. He ended up leaving the Navy as a CO, conscientious objector, and then went to New York, lived with a Catholic Worker, helped edit the newspaper, and started up a correspondence with Thomas First. Jim Forrest later went on to become one of the members of the Milwaukee 14, and he's been about a year and a half in jail, 13 months, I think. Anyway, he's written this book, and it's about Thomas Merton primarily. And this excerpt is from Thomas Merton's first article in the Catholic Worker, which he wrote and got himself in a bit of hot water. So, because it comes out unequivocally against war, and by extrapolation, Catholics fighting in wars. So this is the headline from the Catholic Worker. So Merton writes, "What are we to do? The duty of the Christian in this crisis is to strive with all his power and intelligence, with his faith, his hope in Christ, and love for God and man, to do the one task which God has imposed upon all of us in the world today. That task is to work hard for the total abolition of war. There can be no question that unless war is abolished, the world will remain constantly in a state of madness and desperation in which, because of the immense destructive power of modern weapons, the danger of catastrophe will be imminent and probable at every moment, everywhere. Unless we set ourselves immediately to the task, both as individuals and our political and religious groups, we tend by our very passivity and fatalism to cooperate with the destructive forces that are leading inexorably to war. It is a problem of terrifying complexity and magnitude for which the Church itself is not fully able to see clear and decisive solutions. Yet she must lead the way on the road to the nonviolent settlement of difficulties and toward the gradual abolition of war as a way of settling international or civil disputes. Christians must become active in every possible way, mobilizing all their resources for the fight against war. First of all, there is much to be studied, much to be learned. Peace is to be preached, nonviolence to be explained as a practical method, and not left to be mocked as an outlet for crackpots who want to make a show of themselves. Prayer and sacrifice must be used as the most effective spiritual weapons in the war against war. And like all weapons, they must be used with deliberate aim, not just with a vague aspiration for peace and security, but against violence and war. This implies that we are also willing to sacrifice and restrain our own instinct for violence and aggressiveness in our relations with other people. We may never succeed in this campaign, but whether we succeed or not, the duty is evident. It is the great Christian task of our time. Everything else is secondary, for the survival of the human race itself depends on it. We must at least face this responsibility and do something about it. And the first job of all is to understand the psychological forces at work in ourselves and in society."